morning, students. So in the previous classes we have completed the architecture and pin description as well as memory segmentation, memory organization of 8086 microprocessor. That is part 1 of the first unit is completed. So from today's class we are going to discuss about the remaining part, the part 2 of the first unit, that is instruction set and assembly language programming of 8086. So up till now we have discussed only hardware part. What are different elements, functional elements, what are different registers, how they are organized, how actually we are going to calculate the physical address of the memory, everything we have discussed. So from this unit, in this unit completely we are going to discuss about the software. So what are the instructions, what are different formats, and everything we are going to discuss. So as per the syllabus, in this topic we are going to discuss about the instruction formats, instruction sets, addressing modes, assembler directives and macros, and some simple programmings involving some arithmetic, logical and branch instructions. And there are so many other instructions, call and sorting, string manipulation instructions. So why? Actually, what is an instruction and what is a program generally? A program is nothing but a series of or a group of instructions to perform a particular task. If you want to write a program for addition of 2 8 bits or 2 16 bits, you must require some minimum 2 to 3 4 instructions. So the group of instructions which are going to write or combine to perform a addition task is called as addition program. It's like that. Any program contains a sequence of instructions. Simply you can say that a program is nothing but sequence of instructions performed to execute a program, or sequence of instructions combined to execute a program is called a program. So to run a program, that may be a processor or a microcomputer or any other microprocessor computer device, generally to run a program, microcomputer must have the program stored in memory locations in the binary form. So as we know that the 8086 microprocessor can access some 1 megabyte memory. So the program which is required to run, that should be stored in a particular memory location, the binary form. So there are, how we can write the program. So there are 3 ways, there are 3 languages available that can be used to write a program for a microcomputer. So they are machine language, assembly language and high level language. What is machine language? Here the name itself implies machine language, the language which can be understood by a machine. Here the machine is nothing but processor or microprocessor, microcomputer. The language which can be understood by the machine is nothing but machine language. It is the only language which a machine can understand. Instructions in this language are written in the form of binary bits as a specific bit pattern, that may be in the form of 0, 1, 0, 0, like that. Completely the programs or the instructions are written in the form of binary. So the computer interprets this bit as an instruction to perform a particular task. So for every instruction is having specific sequence of bits pattern. So by understanding that, the computer can interpret that particular machine language and can understand and can perform that instruction. So the entire program is a sequence of binary numbers. This type of language, machine language, is a machine friendly language but not user friendly. Why? Because remembering the program, there is group of ones, group of zeros and ones is very very difficult. So 0 1 0 1 0 1 0, like that. For every instruction we are having some code 0 1 0 1, maybe 1 0 1 0. So it is very difficult for us as a user to remember those sequence of binary. So therefore there is chance of occurring the more errors while you are going to executing program. There is a chance of getting more errors. So to overcome these problems, the programmers develop another way of language in which instructions are written in English alphabets. in English alphabets. So this new language is known as assembly language. It's not completely English language. We are going to use only 2 or 3 or 4 letters mnemonics to represent each instruction. That means we are not going to use a complete word. We are going to use only 2 letters, 3 letters or maximum 4 letters. Those letters are nothing but a group of the 2 letters or 3 letters or 4 letters which are going to represent an instruction is called a mnemonic. M-N-E-M-O-N-I-C-S. Mnemonics, which is nothing but a short form. You can say that it is a short form of a particular word. So in this language are termed as, the instruction in this language are termed as mnemonics. But as we know that our microprocessor or system or machine can understand only machine language, that is the binary language, that cannot understand this assembly language. For that we require a translator. Just like we require to have a translator for translating the from one language to another language, just like in a public meetings during election pollings, there are some public meetings will be there. So some national leaders, that may be Modi or Sonia Gandhi, they are going to talk in only some other language, English or Hindi, but that language cannot be understood by the normal people who are living in a normal AP state or Telangana state. They don't understand the English or Hindi language. Then they are going to appoint a particular person who is going to translate that language, whatever they are spoken, that can be converted into understandable language by the people. It is called as a translator. So whatever I am going to speak for some sentence, after completion of the sentence, the person who is a translator is going to translate his sentence into Telugu language from Hindi or from English. In similar way, so we are going to write the programs in the form of assembly language, which is nothing but in the form of mnemonics, in the form of English shortcut forms, but the machine or computer or microprocessor cannot understand this English language. It is not knowing what is A, what is B, what is C, everything. It understands only zeros and ones, binary forms. For that we require a translator. So that translator, here we are having assembler. Only understand the machine language. So mnemonics are translated into machine language either manually or by a program called assembler. So assembler is a translator. So I think this is a theory subject. We're also having the practical MPMC lab, microprocessor lab, where we are going to use a software called MASM, Microsoft Assembler. So that is going to convert your assembly language into machine understandable language. So that is called as assembler. Assembler can convert assembly language into binary or machine language. So what are the mnemonics? So if you want to perform an operation, subtract, you want to go for some x minus I or 2, 3 minus 1, 2. So for subtract, you have to write an instruction. So in this assembly language, we can write the first 3 letters of subtraction, that is SUB. Sub is nothing but mnemonic for subtraction. The similar way, if you want to go for division, DIV. If you want to go for exclusive or 2 logics or 2 binary numbers, then XOR is the mnemonic. Similarly, to copy the data from one register to another location, one register to another register, or one register to another location, then we are using a instruction called move, MOV. That move, that transfers the data from one register to another register, one register to another location, memory location. So these are about the assembly language. But there is another language also available, which is nothing but high level language. So it is another way of writing a program for a microcomputer is with a high level language such as BASIC, Pascal or Java, like that, COBOL. These are some high level languages. These languages use the program statement, complete English statement, which even more English than our assembly language. In assembly language we are using only 2 or 3 letters, mnemonics, but here we are having the more English, just like a statement. But again, it is actually very easy, but this can also be not understood by the computer or a microprocessor. For that we are having some translator, that is nothing but interpreter. Interpreter can translate the high level language into machine language. So among these three languages, machine language is very, very difficult to understand and to write by user, and whenever an error occurs, it is very difficult to debugging that particular program. So that's why we are going for here a simple English statement, a very simple language, simple mnemonics. So that's why it is very easy to remember by the users or a programmer. Therefore, for this, generally most of the microprocessors, we are going to write a program in the form of assembly language. So now we are going to discuss about this assembly language. And in the assembly language, we are going to use the different types of instructions. As already I have told that program is nothing but a sequence of instructions performed or group of instructions perform a particular task. Okay, to execute a particular task. So that's why we are going to discuss about what is instructions. There are different types of instruction sets are available. The set of instructions are available for different types of microprocessors. So the instruction set which is used in 8086 microprocessor, that may not be compatible for 8085 or 8086 microprocessor. So every microprocessor is having some set of instructions. So that group of instructions available for particular microprocessor only. So in this session we are going to discuss, in this part we are going to discuss about what are different instruction sets available, and different way we can address the data can be addressed. If you want to access the data that is available in a particular register, some AX, BX, CX, or it may be available in some memory location. So we are going to address that data by using different methods. So that is called as addressing modes. So what are different addressing modes available? And also each instruction is having some format. So every instruction is having some different fields that I will discuss now. So what are the different fields? How the instruction is having? What is the format of the instructions? So that is called instruction format. After that, we are going to see some simple example of programs, simple program examples, which using arithmetic logical instructions or some branch instructions, call instructions like that. Okay. So first we are going to discuss about the instruction format as per our syllabus. The instruction format of 8086 has one or more number of fields associated with it. Each instruction is having either one field or more than one. That may be 2, 3 or 4, depending upon the application, depending upon the instruction type. So every instruction is having one or more fields. So those fields of instruction are called as opcode field and operand field. Opcode field and operand field. So the first field is nothing but opcode field, which is also nothing but operation code field. That is nothing but operation code that indicates the type of operation to be performed by the CPU. If you are having the sub instruction, SUB is nothing but you have to perform some subtraction. If you are having some ADD, you have to perform some addition. So that is nothing but that is going to indicate the type of operation to be executed by the CPU. That is nothing but opcode. What type of operation you have to perform, or what type of operation can be performed by the CPU will be indicated by the opcode, operation code field. The other field, another field of this instruction is operand field. Operand field is nothing but the CPU executes the instruction by using the information available in these fields. Whatever the information available in this operand field, by using those information, the CPU can perform the instruction, can execute the instruction. If you want to subtract two numbers, require some operand. For example, you are going to perform an instruction or an addition, some 2 plus 3. That plus is nothing but addition, there is nothing but operation code that indicates the operation to be performed. What is the operation? Addition operation. So then you can say that plus is the addition opcode, and 2 and 3 are called as operands. So by using this 2 and 3 only, the CPU can execute the addition operation. So like that, every instruction in the microprocessor is consisting of these two fields. Definitely they must contain these one or more fields. Those fields are opcode field and operand fields. Opcode field is nothing but operation code field that informs the type of operation to be executed by the CPU. And operand field, you can say that is called a data field also. So the CPU will execute the instruction by using the information which reside in these operand fields. So that is about the general what actually the different fields contained by an instruction. So these instructions, the 8086 microprocessor instruction set consisting of 6 different types of instruction formats, or there are 6 general instruction formats are available in 8086 microprocessor instruction set. Those are 1 byte instruction, register to register instruction, register to memory or from memory with no displacement. Next, register to memory or from memory with some displacement, immediate operand to register, immediate operand to memory with some 16-bit displacement. So there are 6 general formats we are having for our 8086 microprocessor, so that we will see one by one in detail. So actually we will go for only some brief idea. You can understand these instruction format again after discussing instruction sets as well as addressing modes. There you can have the more clarity. Now I would like to make you people to understand what is instruction format, but in detail or completely you can understand after completion of instruction set and addressing more topics. So just I would like to give the overview here. Okay, so 1 byte instruction. So this format is only 1 byte long. That means instruction is having the only 1 byte length and may have the implied data or register operands. The same instruction contains in itself the data as well as opcode. A single byte instruction may residing the data as well as the some register operands. So generally the least significant, that is LSB, the least significant 3 bits of the opcode are used for specifying the register operand, if any. If that instruction contains any register operand, the least 3 bits, for example 100, 0111. So last 111 represents the register operand, that is the register which contains the data. Generally the general purpose registers are used to hold the data. So if you want to, for example AX register is having some data to 3H, you want to copy the that particular 2, 3 from accumulator AX to BX, then you have to write some instruction move AX, BX. Then you can say that the AX is nothing but some register operand. So the data may be specified by the register or sometimes may be specified by the memory location. So in this case, the least significant 3 bits of the opcode are used for specifying the register operand, if any. If there is any operand, then that will be specified by the least 3 significance. Otherwise, all 8 bits form an opcode and the operands that are implied. So for example, there is a simple instruction called CLC. That is called CLC. That is nothing but clear carry. A clear carry. The instruction itself implies that this is the operation without any operand. In that there is no operand, simply clears the carry flag. So I think already we have discussed about the flag register. In the flag register we are having the first bit, that is 0 bit, that is the C carry flag, that is going to inform about the status of result, whether it is containing the carry flag or not. So if there is carry flag is there, that carry flag becomes 1. But if you want to clear that carry flag that is contained from 1 to 0, you want to reset, then you can write a instruction called as CLC. CLC is an instruction which is a 1 byte long. So actually that CLC instruction can be written in the form of machine language as 11111000. That is F8. So don't worry, it is not required to remember all these machine language. Just now I told machine language cannot be understood, it is very difficult to remember. Just I am telling this one. So here we are not having any. What is the operand? That is the carry flag actually. So the register field is carry flag. So everything is opcode and operand, both are all specified in the 1 byte instruction only. CLC, clear the carry. Just simply it clears the whatever the content of the carry flag, that will be resetted. Or there is another instruction called as AAA. adjust for addition. So that we are going to understand in the instruction set. There we are having some what you call as invalid BCD codes. Whenever you are having the invalid BCD codes, you want to add the content with the some 06 number. I will discuss later. So here this is also an instruction. So here the machine language code is 00110111. Here the operand to the instruction is implicit, that is contains inherently, and it take the contents of register A. So directly it will take the contents of accumulator lower byte, then for that content it is going to add some 06 in order to convert some invalid BCD code into valid BCD code. So here also we are not having any extra some BX, AX like that, it is not there. Generally we are having some move AX, BX, that means move the data from BX register to AX, but here it is not specified. Why? Because it is a only 1 byte instruction. In that 1 byte only it contains both opcode operand inherently inside, that is called as implied data or register operands. So this is about the first instruction format that is called as 1 byte instruction. The next one, register to register. So these instructions are used to transfer the data from one register to another register. There are so many registers are available. General purpose registers AX, BX, CX, DX, or sometimes you can write AL, BL, CL, DL if it is 8-bit data. And also we are having some pointer registers, instruction pointer, base pointer, stack pointer, and index registers SI, DI. So like that. So if you want to transfer the data from one register to another register, this type of instruction can be used. So this format is having 2 byte long. The first byte of the code specifies the opcode. We are having 2 bytes. The first byte specifies the opcode, and width of the operand specified by W bit. Operand width means whether the data is byte data, that is 8-bit data, or word data. It is 16-bit. Whether it is 16-bit data or 8-bit data, that can be specified by W bit. So the second byte of the opcode shows the register operand and some R by M field. The first byte represents the opcode and width of the data, whether it is 8-bit or 16-bit, and the second byte indicates the register operand and some register by M, that is meant register or some memory field. So first, for example, here first we will go through this particular format. So this format, the first byte indicates opcode as well as some width, that is nothing but W bit, that indicates the whether data is 8-bit or 16-bit. The second byte contains register field. Here the MOD field shows the mode of addressing, that we will discuss in the addressing modes. So whether it indicates the register as well as, that means here generally this is called as source operand, this is called as destination operand. Again the operands are 2 types, source and destination. So always the destination will be registers only most of the instructions, and source operand may be register or memory. So from which memory we are going to transfer the data, or from which register. So these type of instructions are called as register to register instructions. These are having 2 byte long. The first byte long informs the opcode. Okay, sorry, extremely sorry. This it is first byte is having opcode and width of the operand. The second byte of the opcode shows the register operand and also R by M. So by mistake I told the MOD, mode of addressing, but it is not there. R by M is the register or memory field. So for example, there is an instruction called move CL comma AL. Move CL comma AL, that indicates that we have to transfer the data which is residing in accumulator AL register into the CL. So first byte, if you are going to convert in machine language, but actually that is not required, there the W value should be 0. So if it is W is 0, that is indicates for 8 bits. If W value is 1, that indicates the 16 bits. In the machine language, in the first byte, After specifying that every instruction is having some special language, binary format, MOV, move, it is having some 0, 1, like that, or SUB, it is having some separate machine language code, that is binary code. So in that is 8 bits low. This LSB bit, the W bit, if it is 0, that is for 8 bits, if it is for 1, that is for 16 bits data. So this is used to transfer the data from one register to another register. And next, another one is register to memory or register, or from memory to register with no displacement. Here it is also having the same format, it is also having the 2 bytes long and similar to the previous instruction format, that is register to register format, except a mod field, MOD field. And here we are having some separate addressing mode. Okay, so what is displacement, I will tell you the next instruction format. So here the MOD shows the mode of addressing. There are different types of modes, that may be direct addressing, register addressing, indirect addressing. So that is also specified in the instruction itself. The D bit is, that is the 0 first bit of the second byte. We are having the 2 bytes, higher byte, lower byte. Higher byte is the second bit, that is called D bit. It is valid in case of double operand instructions. The double operand means nothing but one of the operand must be specified by the REG. So if D equal to 0, else it is destination. So if it is 1, there we are having the 2 operand, that is the source operand and register operand. Example, move AX comma BX. The BX is specified in the form of what is called as bracket. So this is called as actually register indirect addressing mode. That is specified by this mod field. Actually, I will tell you what is BX. Here, whenever you are having the in bracket the register name, the register will not contain the data. The register will contain the address of the data where it is stored. So that is actually called as register indirecting, that I will discuss in detail in the addressing modes of the 808 microprocessor. So next, the same with some extra content, register to memory or from memory to register with some displacement. So we are going to specify the address of the particular data, but sometimes we are going to specify particular address which is more popular, and for that popular address we are going to add some displacement, that may be 8-bit or 16-bit displacement. For example, if you are going to locate a particular address of your friends or your relatives in a particular street, then you can tell the address. There is somewhere you go straight and you go for left, but you have to go for some landmark. If you go to the left, you are going to find out a particular water tank. Then from that water tank, if you move some 2 or 3 houses or 200 meters, then you find the exact address. So that 2 or 300 meters, that is the displacement. So this water tank is the exact specified address. Now, finding the address of the unknown person, unknown house, generally we are going to tell the address in a particular general colony. We are going to have some water tank. That is the actual address. But after that, they are saying that after the tank, you go to the right for 200 meters, you will get that particular address. That is nothing but that 200 meters about displacement in case of addressing a house. The similar way here also, sometimes we are going to specify the address of the data. We are going to specify the address, or we are going to specify a register which contains the address of the data. For that content, we are going to add some displacement. So that we are going to discuss again the addressing modes. So this instruction format contains register to memory or from memory to register with some displacement. Generally, move AX comma some 50H in bracket BX. So BX contains some address, and the content of the address will be added with the 508-bit, that is called as 8-bit displacement. Then we are getting the actual address. So that content will be moved to the AX register. So that's why it is also called as register to or from memory with displacement. It also contains 1 or 2 additional bytes. The same previous one, the same register to or memory with no displacement. It contains some additional 1 or 2 bytes. If it is having the 8-bit displacement, only 1 byte. If it is 16-bit, 2 bytes. That is the lower displacement and higher displacement, higher byte displacement. So this is about the fourth one, register to or from memory with displacement. Next, immediate operand to register. There are some register instructions which can move directly the data onto the register. Move AX, 5000H. The 5000 and this is, it is a direct operand. That is the data to be operated. So the 500H is directly moved to the AX register. That is nothing but immediate addressing. Okay. So in this format, the first byte as well as 3 bits from the second byte. So this is the first byte is the opcode and the 3 bits from the second byte that are used for register field in case of register to register format or used for opcode. It also contains one or more or 1 or 2 bytes of immediate data. So this is data. Here you can specify these 3 bytes and this one both are specify the opcode, and this will specify the register to where you are going to specify send move AX, 500H. 5000 అనేది that is 2 bytes of displacement. Immediate data. 50 is the higher byte data, 00 is the lower byte data. So that is lower byte data, higher byte data, and AX is nothing but register. That means memory. Sometimes we can address, we can specify the memory. So this is without having any displacement. And the final one, immediate operand to memory with some displacement. It is also almost similar. Up till this part, that is almost similar, and but it is having some another extra 2 bytes of displacement. Just now I explained about what is displacement. So we want to store the direct immediate data onto the address which is specified by displacement also. The content of register having some address that will be added to the displacement. So actually these are some 6 instruction formats. This you are going to understand very clearly in detail after completion of instruction set and addressing modes. So these are the 6 instruction formats that a 8086 microprocessor is having. Those are 1 byte instructions, register to register, register to or from memory with no displacement, with displacement, immediate to operand, immediate operand to register with no displacement and with displacement. So these are instruction format. So here just will have some review. This is nothing but actually introduction of this part 2, that is assembly language programming. Actually the program is nothing but a sequence of instructions performed to execute a task, to complete a task. So these require some sequence of instructions. So actually the programs can be written in the form of machine language, assembly language, high-level language. Machine language can be understood by the only machine, but it is very difficult to remember all the binary formats by the user, and it is there is a chance of getting more errors. That's why it is very difficult to write the program in machine language. Therefore assembly language, it is a simple English language, a short form of the English language. That's why for most of the what you call as microprocessors, we are using the assembly language. But this cannot be understood by the machine language. Further, we are using a translator called assembler. Similarly, we are having high-level language which can use the more English statements than assembly language. So after that, every instruction consisting of 2 fields, opcode field and operand field. Opcode field will specify the operation to be performed by the CPU for this particular instruction. Operand is, it provides some instructions. By using that instruction, the CPU will perform the operation. So by using this, and we are having some 6 byte instruction formats. Those are registered to 1 byte instruction, which is the only 1 byte, where the instruction itself is having both opcode and operand itself. Example CLC, clear the carry. There is no separate operand field. It is having only 1 byte length. Register to register, it is a 2 byte long. It can specify the opcode first byte, other one specify the register, and next register to memory with no displacement. So that is having some extra. For the previous only a mod, mod is there, that is indicates the mode of addressing. So then with the displacement nothing but just now I told the displacement should be added to the address specified. So same with some displacement. Next, immediate data. Sometimes we need to transfer directly the immediate data onto the register or memory. That is called as immediate operand register instructions. So here we are the same, but here we are having some only data. If it is 8-bit data, only 1 byte. If it is 16-bit data, we are having the 2 bytes. For that, the last one is immediate operand to memory with some displacement. With a 16-bit displacement, extra we are having two 16 bits. Lower byte of displacement, higher byte of displacement. So this is about the instruction formats. So with this I am going to conclude the topic. In the next class we will discuss about the addressing modes of 8086 microprocessor.